So, what does a short shifter actually do? Well, a short throw shifter reduces the amount of throw or the amount of movement that you have to put into your manual gear selector to select a gear. To talk about how it does that, I've got a few different examples here. This is actually the shift assembly from our Pike Speed car before we went to the sequential, because that doesn't use this anymore. So this basically is where your shift knob is. So this is the main shift lever that you would think of. These other two rods are underneath the car. So this one is the higher one. This is one that actually connects to the transmission shift rod and actually changes the gear. And then this lower one is kind of a locator, and you can see that the rear diff bushing is on the back there. So that basically locates the shifter on the car, and then as you move this lever, that's what moves this selector rod and the shift rod in the transmission to actually shift the gears. Now keep in mind, so you've got basically left, center, and right. So that's basically you're selecting first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth in this case. And then you've also got the forward and the back. So that's what, first gear, second gear, and so on. So how do you reduce the throw? How do you make it so that you have to move this shift knob less distance to engage a gear? Well, you change the length of this lever arm or the pivot point. Now, the easiest way to see what that change looks like is with the Cobb double adjustable short shifter, which we have one here. Because this short shift kit, so you have these pinch bolts on the back, they'll let you then extend the ball pivot or raise the shift knob. So with this, the longer this is, then the less movement it takes up top to get the same movement down here at the shift ball or at this pivot point, which is what is actually moving the lever that shifts the gear. And so that's with this Cobb adjustable shifter. The longer you make this bottom section, the shorter the throw is. Then you can raise the shift lever or shift knob height, but of course the taller that you make the shift knob, then the more distance that you have to go through, because now this arm is longer. Another example where you can kind of see that here, this is a Cartboy / Turning Concepts Tallboy shifter for an STI. So this would replace this shift lever in the STI, and this being elongated means that basically there's less movement up here to less movement at the shift knob to get the same movement at the shift rod down here at the transmission. Because we just talked about it recently, the Dark Matter X is an interesting example because this works a little bit differently. The way that this controls the length of the throw is this arm over here. So this being a prototype, there was two different holes, and so basically at the high one, this actually would give more motion into the transmission, so that's shorter. You go down to the bottom, then that would be a little bit longer throw. So that's what you would have to adjust on something like the Dark Matter shifter to control the throw of the shift. Now, the most important thing to remember here is what we're looking at is the short throw shifter is just a mechanical adjustment to change the amount of distance that you have to move the knob itself to actually engage the gear down here in the transmission. There's nothing done internally to the transmission at all that's a part of this. So what that means is that the mechanical mechanism, the synchros that are actually engaging the new gear, they're still doing the same job. And the most common misconception when you put on a short shift kit is that now you can change gears faster. Or there's a tendency, because you don't have to move the knob as far, there's a tendency to try and shift gears faster. And the problem that you can cause by doing that is trying to shift faster, you're giving those synchros less time to do their job. And a lot of times, if it's especially like a shorter throw, you have a longer lever, so you're actually applying more force with the shift knob. And so then that can actually put a lot more stress and strain on the synchros. So if you find yourself that you're trying to shift faster with your short shifter, you might actually end up finding out that you're causing some damage to those synchros because you're just giving them less time to work. So the short throw is great, but make sure that you're still following all of the normal steps. And if you feel any kind of significant resistance, slow down that movement into gear, because those synchros, even though the knob isn't moving as far, the synchros still need that time to do their job and do the work to let you engage that gear. But that is what a short throw shifter does.